Hello world of YouTube and welcome to another episode of Viral's Movie Reviews, where I review movies that you guys suggest I go to the movies and see or I feel like discussing. And the movie I'm talking about this time is for the month of October, for Halloween. It is the comedy classic from the 80s, Ghostbusters. Now, if you haven't seen Ghostbusters, I highly suggest it. It's a great film. I mean, it's an established franchise. It's friggin' Ghostbusters. But if you haven't seen it, basic plot overview. Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and Harold Ramis play three college professors that study paranormal activity, who then get their kind of research sect tossed away, defunded, which leads them to open up their own business called Ghostbusters, where they hunt down ghosts, and things kind of build from there. They throw in Sigourney Weaver and Rick Moranis and Ernie Hudson to add to the greatness. And this film is great. I love this film. I think that it has a fantastic cast. They all play with each other very well. The writing is great. The music is fantastic. And it's just a fun movie. It's a really fun movie that does a lot of things that I didn't realize nor thought about when I was a kid. Because I hadn't seen this movie since I was a kid, and I decided to rewatch it. If you followed the vlogs, I did. And I really enjoyed what I was watching. I mean, from the way that it tackles comedy, which is very old school. A lot of comedy now is very straight-faced. There's no music behind it or much to enhance the comedy. But in this film, they have wacky music. They have comedic music to play when stuff is funny. And I kind of like that about it. It's very old school. It's very retro, and I respect that about it. But aside from that, the music is also very dramatic and tense when it wants to be. Case in point, there was a scene in this movie that kind of scared me as a child. That, you know, I was proverbially on the edge of my seat, but I really enjoyed. It's when Sigourney Weaver's character becomes possessed by Zool, and it's really tense, and the music is really dramatic, and, you know, something happens, and it just, it's really good. I love the design. I love the character design of this movie as well. I like the kind of cat-like demons that are in this. I love the ghost design. Slimer is great. And I love everything about this movie. There's a lot of memorable scenes, like when they're going to catch a ghost for the first time and they go to meet Slimer, who becomes an iconic ghost within the franchise of Ghostbusters. One scene that I kind of liked more as an adult is when Ernie Hudson's character is talking to Dan Aykroyd's character in the car, and they kind of bring it to kind of a religious prospect, and I love a lot about this movie. There's a lot of great scenes. There's a lot of memorable lines. The whole interaction when they meet Dozer the God is really great, or Gozer the God is really great. The writing is just fantastic. I mean, it was written by Harold Ramis and Dan Aykroyd, and they wrote a really good comedy. The characters' interactions are fantastic. I mean, the key three of Bill Murray, Dan Aykroyd, and Harold Ramis, their interactions are fantastic. But they even, you know, have some really good interaction with the characters throughout the rest of the, or that are also in the movie, like the angry EPA agent, the secretary, and Egon's relationship, which I did not pick up at all on as a kid. It was really funny to see as an adult. Just Bill Murray in general. Bill Murray and anyone in this movie that he interacts with is fantastic. Bill fucking Murray steals this movie, in my opinion. I love Dan Aykroyd and the rest of the cast. I think Sigourney Weaver's great. I think Rick Moranis is really good as the kind of quirky, kind of creepy, weird stalker neighbor. But I think that Bill Murray is just Bill Murray. He's fantastic, and he's really great in this movie. I love the atmosphere. I love this franchise. I think that it's a really interesting concept that is really cool. It's just a really cool movie. Proton packs and, you know, ghost traps and, you know, just all of these weird sci-fi things. It's really cool. It's a really cool idea that I think was executed fantastically. Really, if I were to have any complaints about this movie whatsoever, it's that Ernie Hudson's character, Winston, kind of downplayed a little bit. Really, the only characters he interacts with is the secretary and Dan Aykroyd. I mean, he kind of interacts with the rest, but those are the two big ones that he does. And I get it, he's the new kid, so he's not going to have a huge focus drawn to him. He's not one of the main characters, but I would have liked a little more, you know. He does have some good lines, you know, in this movie. Like, when asked if you're a god, you say you're a god! Like, it's funny. It's good. But yeah. That's great. The set pieces are awesome. This movie is awesome. This movie's great. If you haven't seen it, go see it. Now I'm going to get out of here. That's my review of Ghostbusters. The theme song is amazing, too. I should have said that earlier, but the theme song is amazing. If you don't know the Ghostbusters theme, why? But either way, I'm going to get out of here. Hopefully you enjoyed this review. I have been Viralrak. You guys have a good day, lives, and situations, and I'll see you another day.